When I'm being abusive to myself, I don't have an understanding of what behavior is appropriate. Even if I know the way that I'm treating myself is unacceptable, my gauge of what is acceptable is diluted by what I think is unacceptable, because the way I treat myself is so piss poor that what I have to offer is probably mediocre, and I think it's great because it's high in contrast to how I treat myself. A good example of this is my mom, who hates her body and talks poorly about her body in really overt ways, like "you're a fat bitch" to herself, and I say, "That's not nice, you shouldn't talk to yourself like that." And my mom goes, "Well, I would never talk to you like that." But every time I go to visit my mom, she makes comments about my body. She talks about how much weight I've lost or I've gained, developing this insecurity in me because she hasn't dealt with her insecurity. Even though she thinks she's being respectful to me, or she thinks she's paying me a compliment, or she thinks she's checking on my health, she's really just being invasive, specifically as it relates to an insecurity she hasn't resolved, an area in her life where she abuses herself. Taking the same framework into people pleasing, when I'm self-sacrificing and I'm self-neglecting to accommodate somebody else, especially when they're not willing to do the same thing for me, because none of us should do that because it's not healthy, I get resentful at that person for not meeting my needs when I'm neglecting my needs, even though it's my responsibility to meet my needs. And then maybe I'm passive aggressive with them, maybe I start an argument, maybe I have negative feelings, I judge, I gossip, whatever. The point is, now I've got this other layer that I have to deal with because I refuse to take care of the thing within myself. Another overt example is really pithy, self-hating men who act like, "Oh yeah, women just don't like me because they like bad guys and I'm not good enough." That's a diluted perspective of reality as a result of an undealt with insecurity. That's self-abuse manifested in perspective of the world and therefore reinforced through subconscious behavior.